In a world that moves fast and often stays shallow, I invite you to slow down, breathe, and dig a little deeper. As a film director, legacy planner, and faith driven entrepreneur, I know the power that lies beneath the surface, the stories, lessons, and unspoken truths that shape how we live and how we lead. Each episode explores the layers of life, loss, leadership, and love with raw transparency, heartfelt humor, and spiritual insight. From every conversations about healing and hope to the unfiltered realities of building a meaningful legacy. This is where real talk meets eternal purpose. Because the deepest work isn't buried, it's discovered. Let's get started.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm well.
Good. Thank you so much for sitting with me. I know that this has been a journey for you, just getting through this door.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk about that?
Well, so just coming here to the funeral home, as amazing and as beautiful as it is, it did bring about a little bit of fear as it relates to reliving some moments, personal moments of losses, death, and just how that process goes. And so, like most of us, it's probably a little bit, nervous to walk into a funeral home because usually that means something bad has happened. But push past those fears, and it was amazing to walk in here and see that it was lighthearted. It's beautiful, and so I'm happy to be here.
Good. I've been praying for you since you said yes. And we were trying to figure out where we were going to have it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Lord, wherever she feels comfortable, that's fine. But my heart's desire was for you to be able to walk out of here today and say, I did it.
Yeah.
And so I'm very proud of you.
Yeah, thank you. Well, conquering fears is something that we have to face. And so, honestly, this is, I can check this one off. I made it.
So now when you drive past, you can actually come in if you want to.
Yeah.
Good. Well, today on Digging Deep, we honor the ones who've served, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the ones who are still fighting battles that most can't see.
Mm-hmm.
On Digging Deep, my guest is Aqueelah R. Collier. But give me your full name. Is that how you are? Okay.
Yes.
And you go by Aqueelah, or is there a nickname that people know you by?
The Therapy Queen.
The Therapy Queen. Okay.
Yes.
And so how did you come up with that name?
Well, I consider myself a queen of all sorts because, one, I'm the daughter of a king, right? And so I just embrace queendom, and I try to empower other women to see the queen within them. And so I just bridge the two together. I'm a therapist, and therapy and queendom, we just put it together, and it's the Therapy Queen.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
And how have people embraced that? And because sometimes when we call ourselves queens, or some people call themselves divas, people kind of are standoffish because they feel like you're putting yourself on a pedestal. How have people received that title?
Yeah. I think people have received it well because it's not so much of putting myself on a pedestal, but just embracing who I am and walking into that journey that I have, and just empowering myself, and with that, empowering other people. Because however you see me, I want you to see yourself the same way. So I am a queen, so I want you to look at the queen within you, or the king within you. And so I use it as an opportunity to empower others, right? And so how you see yourself impacts how other people see you.
That's right.
If I don't value myself, other people won't value me. So I just use it as a tool to encourage other people.
I love that. I love that. Now, you are an Army veteran,
yes,
okay, and a psychotherapist helping veterans and their families rediscover purpose beyond the uniform. Why is that important?
It's important because when we're in the military and we're serving, we have a sense of pride, we have a sense of duty, we have just all the things that kind of make us who we are. And then when you walk away from that, whether you retire or whatever the situation is, you kind of lose a piece of yourself, right? You lose a piece of who you are, your identity. And so you have to transition to the new era of life as a civilian, getting back with your families. And so you have to make that transition and find a new identity, right? Reestablish what that is. Not losing our value, but just shifting our focus.
Not losing your value, just shifting your focus.
Absolutely.
That's powerful. So today, with your permission, I want to talk about healing, the identity, and what freedom really means when the mission changes. So can we have that conversation?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, let's go. So you've served your country.
Yes, ma'am.
And now you're serving hearts. What inspired your shift from the battlefield to the therapy room?
Purpose, right? Okay. The same reason why I served in the military was so that I could be a part of something that was bigger than me, that had a large impact on the world, right? Being able to support people that most other people may not support, and just having a value and sense of purpose. Transitioning that over to social work allowed me to have that same purpose, that same mission. And so serving people, working with people that other people may not want to work with, and just empowering people and doing something that's bigger than self. So it kind of gave me an opportunity to transition that same mission, morals, and standards from one service to the next service.
Got it. Okay. And I've seen you speak in several different aspects. One-on-one, I've heard you talk to people, and in group settings, and you often talk about people having the freedom to feel. Okay. So what does that mean when you tell someone you have the freedom to feel?
Yeah, it's the opportunity to let go of any expectations. It's the opportunity to be present and just be who you are without putting on a face, right? Without being on, and just allowing yourself to say, okay, what does this feel like for me? Why am I experiencing this? And that I'm okay. That it's okay to feel fear, that it's okay to feel strength, that it's okay to feel sadness, and that you will survive that moment, right? So giving people the opportunity to feel. Oftentimes in our community, that's kind of shut down. What don't kill you will make you stronger.
Right.
That's another way to kind of diminish people's feelings, right?
Yes.
Young men aren't allowed to have weaknesses. Black women aren't allowed to have weaknesses. And so creating a space where you have the opportunity to feel, and telling yourself first that it's going to be okay, and surrounding yourself with a support system that also encourages that and supports that.
Okay. Well, when we talk about freedom to feel, and your audience being veterans and people that are active duty, what does that look like to a community who have been taught to suppress how they feel so that they can stay mentally active in what's going on in the moment? So how do you get them to transition, and how do you teach their spouses, their children, and those who support them to come out of that mode, come out of that suppression?
Yeah. Well, first, just letting them know who they are is important. Who they are is valuable, and you don't have to minimize who you are or get over certain parts of who you are, but finding the value in that and bringing that along, right? So one of the things that I tell veterans, that it's okay to always be a soldier. You don't have to say that, okay, that used to be my life. No, I'm always a soldier. The way I look at the world will always be from the eyes of a soldier, because that's what I've experienced. And so taking that with you, but not only that, and adding on the things of who else are you, right?
Okay.
Who else are you? And so allowing yourself to transition and let that part of your life be one component, right?
Okay.
I'll always be a veteran. I'll always be a soldier. I'll always walk into any situation and probably look at it differently from the next person. But that's not all. That's not where the story ends. So, and allowing the family members to be in a place where, okay, let's talk about how you support that and how you don't ignore that. And then the veteran will be able to share with their family members, okay, these are the things that I need so that I could be present and move forward. And these are the things that I'm doing for myself. So surrounding themselves with peers, going to therapy, doing that self-work, but not losing who they once were, but bringing the great parts of that with them, bringing that leadership with them, bringing those tools of survival, and then just incorporating it in today's world. Right?
Okay.
And we do it every day. It's like our coping skills, right? As soon as I drove into your parking lot, first thing I did was look to my left and right. See how many cars was in the parking lot, what are the entries and exits. It's just so automatic. I do it without even thinking. Right? As soon as you said, come on in, walk into that, I look to the left and right. What are the exits? What are the doors? How many people in the building? You're doing those assessments on the spot without even thinking, but still being present.
Got it.
Still being present, tapping into your five senses. What do you see? What do you smell? What do you taste? What do you feel? What do you hear? To ground yourself to the present moment. So equipping our veterans with the tools that they need today and incorporating it with the tools that they already know to help them transition and be present. The transition is ongoing.
Right.
It's ongoing. I've been out of Iraq for 20 years.
Oh, wow.
The transition is ongoing.
Still today.
Yes, because you're always facing another challenge. And you never know what that challenge is going to trigger you to.
That's right.
Right. So you have to bring that toolbox with you everywhere you go. Right. And then to, inform the family of, okay, these are the things that I do. So they can see that as a positive and be able to support that. Because without that communication, then the translation of that is erupted because they don't know what that looks like.
Right.
It may look like control for them. It may look like bossiness to them. They may not understand that that's a way that you're keeping yourself safe.
Mm-hmm. Wow. That was a lot, but it makes so much sense. So this mentality that you are instilling in the veterans who have been discharged and helping their families, is there any type of program where, like, let's say you find out that you're going to be discharged 6 months to a year. Do you start with them while they're still in service so that when they transition out, it's not such a hard break between being in the service and being a civilian? Or do they have to like seek you out after they realize, oh, something's wrong? Like, what's the transition look like?
Veterans and active service members,
okay,
are able to see me while they're still serving, whether they're on reserve or whether they're active duty or whether they have recently discharged or they have been out of the military 20 years. Either way, I'm accessible, right? I accept all insurances, TRICARE. And if you're active duty or reserve, there is a program called Military One Source, which is like an EAP, right? Civilian terms EAP, right?
Right.
So,
and that stands for?
That's a employee assistance program.
Got it. Okay.
And most every employer has that, but the military has it too.
Got it.
And so they allow you to have those sessions while you're active duty, while you're on the reserve, and then once you get out, you can also access that. So I think starting that transition while you're in the military, like you're saying, knowing that you're 6 months out is a great time to start creating your support systems, getting that care. The military itself offers a lot of benefits, but sometimes people are reluctant to get those services because of how it may be documented, right? And so one of the unspoken things that people never really say out loud, but they think.
Are you or someone you love struggling with drugs or alcohol, including opioids like oxycodone, hydrocodone, fentanyl, or heroin, or even kratom? Don't lose hope. There's real help right here in your community. At Symmetria Recovery, you don't have to put your life on hold to get better. Our outpatient programs fit into your schedule so you can recover while keeping up with work, family, and real life. Symmetria's doctors, therapists, and pharmacy are all under one roof, using medications that stop withdrawal fast and holistic therapy that treats the root causes of addiction, not just the symptoms. Unlike many treatment centers, we don't kick people out for relapse. We know recovery isn't a straight line, and we stay with you through every step. We're CARF accredited and accept most major insurance for your convenience. For immediate relief and lasting recovery, visit Symmetria Recovery today at symmetriarecovery.com. Help that fits your life. Symmetria Recovery. Relief, respect, success.
This is Scott Allen Curley. On January 21st in Plano, Texas, we're bringing you CommitCon 2026, an event designed to reset how entrepreneurs, CEOs, and business owners think and build. And with iHeartMedia supporting this event, it adds real weight and reach to what we're doing. You'll hear proven strategies, make powerful connections, and leave with tools you can put to work immediately. One day, no excuses, total shift. Get your tickets now at commitcon.com.
Silently is that, okay, I'm getting out the military, but what if I want to come back, right? So it's just always that little thing in the back of your mind, like, what if I want to come back? So you are very careful of what you allow them to document, right? Okay. You might really be done. I mean, I was done. Yes. But in the back of my mind, I was like, what if I come back? What if I need to come back, right? Because that's home. That's your home. And so, you can always go home, right? And so you want to leave that in a good space. And so sometimes people think, having certain things documented as far as mental health will have a negative impact. So we'll seek services outside of that. But the military itself offers a lot of benefits, a lot of resources, and then a lot of VSOs, veteran service organizations in the area do as well.
Okay. Well, so when I sit with families that have lost their loved ones who are veterans, they often tell me here at the funeral home, it's like we don't even know what to do now. They know that they needed therapy when their loved one was alive, but like you said, they didn't want anything documented about their mental health. And now that their loved one has passed, they're sitting at our table, grieving the loss, sometimes happy that they're no longer having to deal with the mental trauma that they went through from an undiagnosed person who didn't go through therapy, and feeling guilty for having that sense of emancipation, right? So I thank God that you, as a therapy queen, and your team and all that you do, to grab those people while they still have life, to be able to give a sense of relief for the veteran, for their peace, and for their spouses and their kids.
Absolutely.
Personally, I have my uncle served, I believe, in the Air Force, and then my cousin's husband, they're in Japan now. So I only have two people that I know of in my immediate circle. I have friends that served and all of that. However, all of them have always presented themselves to be, I don't want to use the word normal as far as mental, but I never saw any issues with their, with their mental.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking back years ago, if I ever did, I wouldn't have known what to do, And I do know one person that's been out of the service for 20 years just realized that they were eligible for all these benefits. They didn't even know that they could go to therapy specifically for what you provide. And so I've given them their information, like, you should go see the therapy queen. And so tell me about, how can loved ones that are dealing with trauma support their spouses or whomever they're connected to without carrying the trauma themselves? Because when people come to me and say, I'm dealing with my spouse and they're just flying off the wall and it's so much going on, they're actually getting sick as well because they're internalizing that. So talk to the audience about when they're in an environment where it's not them dealing with the trauma, but they're having to be subjected to it on a regular basis. How do they insulate themselves first before making sure that their loved one is taken care of?
Yeah, that's super important. That's super important because the family members are highly impacted by what is going on with their spouse, their veteran, and their family. So number one, I would say, stay in your role. Stay in your role. If you're the wife, if you're the husband, if you're the daughter, stay in your role. Don't become their therapist. Don't become their number one support for all things that they're experiencing because you're not equipped.
Got it. Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And so what we want to do is acknowledge who they are and what they've gone through. We can empathize with that. Okay. And then we can give resources for that. We can encourage that, right? Encourage them to seek mental health treatment. Encourage them to see a therapist. Encourage them to connect with the VA. But don't take on that load and be that for them.
Okay.
Right? And so sometimes spouses will try to be everything for their veteran, right? And stay in your role and then get your support.
Okay.
Get that spousal support, get that family member support as far as going to therapy for yourself and learning the tools that you need to be a caretaker, to be a support, and differentiate the two.
Okay.
And sometimes that can look like, so if you're a spouse of a veteran, it could look like, okay, my spouse is going through all these things and that's making it difficult for me to be in a relationship with them. Okay, now let's go to couples therapy.
Okay.
So if we go to couples therapy, especially with a veteran like myself,
Right.
I can help you navigate the pieces of that communication, because it's a big gap when he or she is communicating one way based on their military experience and you're feeling that in a different way and it's impacting that relationship.
Yes.
And so then we can navigate that puzzle of trauma, separating things out, what's impacting the relationship, and how we focus on the marriage or the relationship, whether it's mother and daughter or whatever the relationship is, focus on that relationship, right? So stand in your position.
Despite wintry conditions and heavy traffic, the holidays have to go on. That's why Mercedes-Benz SUVs come equipped with the latest safety technology to keep your festive plans on track. Discover the incredible offers for yourself at the Mercedes-Benz Holiday Love Celebration.
Still Serving Veterans has been helping veterans for the last 18 years. Among other services, SSV helps veterans with career transition anywhere in the world. Veterans often spend up to $2,500 on a resume and career services once they leave the military. By becoming an SSV Mission Defender, your monthly donation ensures free services such as resume creation and review, LinkedIn help, interview prep, mentorship, salary negotiations, and more. Become a Mission Defender today at ssv.org/donate/give monthly.
Acknowledging who they are, giving them resources to support their journey individually, and then whatever the connection is to you and the veteran, let's work on our relationship.
Right.
Especially if it's a marriage, let's work on our relationship and go through couples therapy, and so that both can learn the tools for what their mission is together.
Okay. So, well, let's talk about this. So the veteran or service member, active service member, that's the right term, active service member, they don't want to talk about it. They feel like, you married me, you knew that I was in the service. The common term I heard was, you're getting all the benefits, so just, chill out, basically. They don't want the help. The spouse is in a personal hell, probably, potentially.
Yeah.
What does the spouse do? Do they go on their own and just let the person do what they need to do and just take care of themselves? At what point, because there may be somebody listening who has tried everything. They've tried to talk to their spouse or their child, and they don't want to go to therapy. They've done therapy on their own to insulate themselves so that they're not affected, but they're still having to deal with it. What do they do in that instance?
Right. You can't fix other people. Okay. So you have to do what's within your control.
Okay.
Right. And so if your partner is not willing to get their own individual help or go to couples therapy or any of those things, the only thing that is within your control is to continue to encourage them to seek out whatever. It may look like peer support.
Okay.
It may not be the way of therapy initially or the way of the VA initially. They may have a battle buddy or a friend that they talk to.
Okay.
Right? And you may encourage them to hang out with that person. You may encourage them to connect with VSOs in the area, right?
Okay.
Veteran service organizations that are like the DAV, places where they are connecting to their peers. You may encourage them in those spaces where they can be around what they consider like-minded individuals, and that could be an encouragement, and those people may lead them to the help that they need, right?
Yeah.
So stay in your role as the family member or the spouse. Continue to take care of yourself. Do the things that help you stay safe mentally, emotionally, physically, and all the things. But if anyone is ever in a position where it's unbearable and you have done everything that you can and you can no longer participate in this, you have to do what's right for yourself.
Yes.
And so that, that becomes a personal journey of like, have I done everything that I can do, that I'm willing to do? Is this more than I'm willing to deal with? Because self-preservation is also important.
That's right.
Right. And so we don't want to pacify anyone, and we don't want to enable anyone.
You're right.
So sometimes then we have to look at self and say, where am I with this?
Wow. Okay. And I know a lot of people will throw religion at people. Like, I know, they'll say, you're having issues with your spouse. They're causing you heartache, multiple times a week. Just pray about it. In your opinion and in your work, how do faith and therapy intersect when it comes to healing?
They go hand in hand.
Okay.
They go hand in hand for me personally. Now, if faith is not a part of your support system, if you are not a person of faith and is not an anchor to you, or you have experienced severe church hurt, let's be real, a lot of people have had church hurt, and that's not any longer something that you can lean on, then we don't incorporate that. But if that's something that you value, if it's a part of your value system, then those two go hand in hand, and they go hand in hand so well. And I would say that therapy allows you to identify what needs to be worked on, giving it a name, giving it a label, giving you skills and tools, and then God heals.
Okay.
Right? So therapy is letting you know what needs healing.
That's right.
And then God comes in and actually does the healing. And if you are a true believer, you know that these things will intercede and the healing will happen while in therapy.
Yes.
Right. And so I mean, for me, they go hand in hand. And I'm always thrilled when someone else sits on my couch and they say, yes, you know, and I believe in God. Great.
Okay.
We got something to lean on in here, right? And so I incorporate that because it's something that the person values. Now, if they do not value that, then we don't include that. But if we're talking about faith over therapy or therapy over faith, no, it's not one over the other. These two go hand in hand. And the reason why I am a therapist is because God tapped me on my shoulder and said, go here and do this work.
Yes.
So I know that they go hand in hand.
Yes.
Right. And so I definitely encourage the combination of the two. You know, there's no one without the other if that's something that's important to you.
Yes. And you mentioned being tapped on the shoulder. I remember when you and I met, that was back in, let's see, I started Mansfield Funeral Home in 2016. So I had to be like 14, 15 when you and I met at the Veterans Hospital. And I remember I'm walking around like a deer in headlights. I didn't know what was going on, what to do. God told me to go and work in this field because I'm saving money to find a funeral home. Mansfield Funeral Home wasn't even thought of at the time. And I remember meeting you and you were so open and so willing to just grab me by the hand and say, okay, I'm going to show you what I can so you can figure it out. Because I think that you could tell that I had a purpose past what was going on. And I remember looking at you like, she is not supposed to be on this hospital floor in these scrubs or whatever you had on. She is supposed to be out in the world. I thought to myself, these hallways are too small for her. So when we met at that time, had God already tapped you on your shoulder and told you about being therapy queen and all the things? Tell me about that journey.
In therapy queen itself, that evolved later on, but he actually had already tapped me on my shoulder and said, go and do this work. Right. And so the funny thing is, being a therapist and being a social worker is just the umbrella for me to be able to do God's work, to do the mission that he purposed on my life. Right. And so I would be doing this if it was called something else. Right. I still would be serving. And so he just gave me that umbrella to be under, to do that work. And so I was actually, prior to that, working in corporate America, using like 10% of my brain, doing nothing on them people. Enjoying myself, thankful
and making some good money.
And just was like, you know, but there was nothing of substance other than I can provide for my family. And when God tapped me on my shoulder, he was like, you got to leave that. You got to leave that comfort zone. And I need you to walk into this brand new era, this brand new territory that you have not ever spent one day in. And this is where I need you to do the work.
Okay.
And I definitely was like, me? Me?
Looking around like,
that's what you want me to do?
Yeah.
And so it was definitely a challenge in a lot of different ways. And it was, again, facing those fears and walking away from your comfort zone and what you knew that you were good at and didn't take zero effort from you to walk on this journey that was so fulfilling that you couldn't even describe it to people. I couldn't even explain why I needed to quit my job, my good paying job.
That's right.
And go on this journey. But it's like the old people would say, there was like a fire trapped in my bones, just burning. I had to go every day, every night. I'm like, I'm going to quit this job. But know why.
Right.
The job is great.
They know why.
The world of me. And I, you know, but I got to go and I got to try this. And I don't know if it's going to work out, but all I got is faith. And so I started taking on the just show up. God said, just show up. I do the rest.
Yes.
Right. And I was scared. I didn't just jump out there like, okay, I got this. I took a 90-day leave of absence from that job to go do social work, and then went back on the 90th day and said, okay, I resign. So I did it with fear. But I've never regretted it, not one single day. And so God just had his hand over the whole situation, and he's just been grooming me and growing me every step of the way and allowing me to meet people like you and people that can come in and support me and have ideas and have, all the tools that are needed to make this engine run. So he had already given me that when I met you, but only in pieces.
Okay.
Right? Only in pieces, because if he gives us everything, we're going to think we did it.
That's right.
Right?
Right.
So he just gave me a little bit at a time. And so even now, it's still a little bit at a time, because there's a bigger purpose here and a bigger picture than you and I. But he allows us to connect, because there's so many people that we're going to be able to impact by just doing the will of God, doing the work of God. So, being a therapist and being a social worker is my opportunity at ministry. It's my opportunity to be purposeful in the life that I have, right?
Mm-hmm.
It allows me to give back to the community, give back to veterans, and just give back to God all together. So I love this work.
That is so amazing. And, going through the journey of taking the 90 days,
Mm-hmm.
and, I'm sure your family, I'm assuming that your family, like my family, is used to, you have your good paying job.
Mm-hmm.
Don't come off that job.
It's like, girl, you crazy?
What are you doing? That's a guaranteed check.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever God is telling you, you can do that on the side, but you just go jump out there. So you're a mother, you're a wife, you have very close family members. Talk to me about how that looked. Did you tell them immediately what your plan was, or were you kind of silent about it and they kind of figured it out? Because there are people that are listening that potentially care more about.
This is Scott Allen Curley. On January 21st in Plano, Texas, we're bringing you CommitCon 2026, an event designed to reset how entrepreneurs, CEOs, and business owners think and build. And with iHeartMedia supporting this event, it adds real weight and reach to what we're doing. You'll hear proven strategies, make powerful connections, and leave with tools you can put to work immediately. One day, no excuses, total shift. Get your tickets now at commitcon.com.
You've watched them spiral, the broken promises, the close calls. At some point, you have to step in. Symetria Recovery in Fort Worth is different. Real medical treatment, not a cookie-cutter rehab. No judgment, no runaround, just results. And they can start today. We accept most major insurances. It might not cost you a thing. Symetria Recovery. You make the call. We'll handle the rest. Visit SymetriaRecovery.com.
What others that are close to them think and say than what God is telling them.
Yeah.
So I speak all the time about how I didn't care what people thought. I bought this place. I had a six-figure job. When I got the keys on a Thursday, came back on a Friday, realized what the setup we thought was going to be wasn't that, and I quit my job the very next day. And I went from being employed by somebody making six figures to paying myself with no budget to pay myself. And people are like, that's crazy. Who'd you talk to? God. I didn't tell. Nobody knew my story until like maybe 18 months later.
Wow.
Because I did not want to hear what people had to say, because I didn't want that to infiltrate my thought process and mask where God was leading me. So did you have that same experience?
Yeah, it was challenging, because I come from an environment where you're always, what's the next thing? Especially in the military, you're promoting, you're elevating to the next rank.
That's right.
So it's always the next step up, right? And so having a good job, as they say in corporate America, with great benefits, with a union where you can get fired, was like crazy. Why would you quit the job? People don't quit; they die off. They don't leave here. And so it would have been difficult to explain to many people what I was doing or why I was doing. So I didn't tell a lot of people, but people that were very close to me, I would bounce the idea off of them. And they would be like, wow, I don't know. They were uncertain and I was uncertain. But every time I asked someone, God would give me the answer.
That's right.
And I was like, okay. Then I'd ask another trusted person. And then God would say, okay, you keep asking me the same thing. I'm going to keep telling you the same answer.
Same thing.
And so I knew that they couldn't understand what was happening with me, because I didn't fully understand it. But I had been here before. I had been here before where I was led to make a choice that wasn't the most favorable choice amongst family. They would have wanted something different for me, but I knew that was something that I needed to do, even going to the military. Right. Even though I come from a family of military, a legacy of military, I was the only female that went. right?
Got it.
But I knew that that's what I needed to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I had been in that position before where all minds didn't align for what I felt was right for me. So I just trusted what God said and said, okay, I'm going to go ahead and do this. What's the worst that could happen? I mean, I could always go back, right? And so we have to remind ourselves we've already lived through the worst things.
Hallelujah.
And so sometimes our fear is success.
Mm.
We know how to survive and thrive in chaos and sometimes even in poverty.
Yep.
But going forward, doing something different, being successful or something, that's a little bit scary because how, what, when, where, I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
right? Walking into that can be sometimes scary, and so we can get in our own way.
Yes.
So just trusting God and trusting that it's going to work out. And guess what? If it doesn't, like most people, we got 10 plans on if it fails.
Right.
We got 10 plans on if it fails, but we really need plans for if it succeeds.
Mm-hmm.
So not everybody understood that. But then, of course, once you made it, right, and you've gotten there, everybody's like, God, I knew you could do it.
Right. Everybody's a girl, yeah.
Yeah. And so you learn to trust yourself more. And so that's why I say it's important for us all to have self-love, self-care, self-preservation, and self-empowerment. You have to be willing to love yourself more. And this is not the most favorable moment that people like to hear. But you have to be willing to love yourself more than you love your parents, than you love your spouse, than you love your children. Loving yourself more allows you to trust yourself. It allows you to put yourself first. It allows you to take care of yourself so you can be there for everyone that you love.
That's right.
It's not saying that I love me more in spite of them. Like, I'm not loving them any less, but I'm putting myself first so that when I wake up, if I take care of me, I can be there for my children. I can be there for you have something to give.
Right.
If you don't take care of yourself first, you're giving them less than what you really want to be giving them.
That's
so
right.
It's important to put self first. And so when God is giving you a vision and giving you a purpose, when you put yourself first, then you can think about, wait a minute. Now, I understand what they're saying, but we ain't got the same purpose here.
That's right.
We ain't got the same responsibility.
Yes.
Here. We ain't got the same accountability.
That's
here.
right.
So if you really think about it, you've always been different from everybody else.
Absolutely.
Right? So why do you think this will be any different?
That's right.
You know, so I always hear God saying, if not you, then who? And
it won't probably not them.
So you have to take responsibility that you are an individual and you are individually purposed. And so it may not be favorable to everyone, your ideas and your vision, because it's not for them. It's for you.
Wow. That's a lot. And you talk about people being afraid of success. I have talked to so many people on the podcast that have mentioned they were afraid of how they were going to be viewed as a successful person because there weren't very many people around them that could share in that experience. A lot of times they're the only one that's successful. And so they would rather struggle or look like they're struggling with everybody else than to stand alone and be successful.
Yeah.
And a lot of my funeral industry colleagues and I say, you know, being CEO, founder, owner of a funeral home or anything can be lonely sometimes because you are having to elevate yourself above everybody, every single time, all the time. And most people cannot relate to that. And when you come across people who cannot relate, instead of applauding and supporting, they rather say, what can I do to bring that person down? And I've seen that so many times. And I would echo what you said about you have to love yourself first and be self-aware of yourself. Your body will tell you if you are in a conversation or in an environment that is not going to serve you.
Exactly.
And you have to love yourself enough to remove yourself from the conversation. I have hung up on so many people. I have walked out of rooms so many times because my body was rejecting the conversation and the environment. And once I got out, the person, they knew what they were doing. So when they saw that I responded like that, they had nothing to say. Nothing to say.
Yeah, you outgrow people. And I always say, you know, if you are the smartest person in the room, find you another room. Find you another table, because you should always be somewhere where you can be edified, where you can grow. And so it may be hard seeking that out,
Right.
but keep looking for opportunities where you can be groomed and you can be fed into and you can be supported in ways that it grows your mind, it grows your intellect, grows where you're going. And so I think every entrepreneur should have a mentor.
Yes.
Right. And I can tell you my mentor has done what I'm doing 26 times over.
Okay.
So when I'm talking to someone, I need to talk to somebody who you've done this on so many other levels.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so finding people that can pour into you is super important. And then also being able to say, everybody who started the journey with me can't go where I'm going.
Cannot.
And that's really hard. It's simply said, but it's really hard because you love those people.
That's right.
And you've been connected to those people. But then you have to, looking at yourself, say, okay, what does friendship mean to me today? What does familyship mean to me today? What do I value today? And has that changed? And obviously it has changed. So when it changes, I have to change. So that means some people we got to leave them where they at.
Got to leave them.
You know, you may think that you and that person have been friends for 30 years, but maybe y'all just been knowing each other for the last 20 years. You were friends for the first 10.
That's right.
So I can still know you. I got to move forward.
That's right.
And we got to gravitate to people that can help us on our journey, because this is a journey. We're going somewhere.
Yes.
And if you're not pouring into that, I don't really have a lot of time to waste if you're not helping me get to where I'm going, because
That's right.
I'm accountable for what I'm doing.
That's right. That's right. Listen, girl, let's get to this amazing book.
Okay.
This book is really, really good. I don't really have time to read, but I took the time to read this. It's called Boots Off, Mastering the Transition from Military to Civilian Life. And this is a picture of...
So that is a picture of two service people, men and women, that are in uniform.
Okay.
And intentionally they have their backs turned so you cannot see which branch, because it represents all branches.
Okay.
And then as they look into the mirror, they're seeing a reflection of their family and seeing themselves in the civilian light. So as husband and wife with children, in the background you see their home, you see the flag, you see the soldier coming through the fire. So it's just talking about that whole transition from military life to civilian life.
I love that. Now, reading through it had a lot of great gems. I want you to talk more about the one truth that the book revealed about transition and identity. I know that you mentioned it before, but when people transition and they now see themselves no longer on the base, no longer on the ship or wherever they are, and they're just kind of just thrown back into a world that they were taken away from.
Welcome to Cavender's, where you feel the West as soon as you walk in. From the sight of custom-shaped hats and the sound of authentic style to the fresh smell of genuine leather and the comfort of a perfect fit. Here, Western is what you feel. Cavender's Boot City. Experience the best of the West in one of our 19 DFW stores.
This holiday season, the biggest gifts aren't under the tree. They're at Choctaw Casino and Resort Durant. We're giving away a car every day of the week during the 25 Cars of Christmas giveaway, December 1st through the 25th. Play with your Rewards Club card and you could ride away a winner with your share of $2 million in cash and cars. It's beginning to look a lot like winning at Choctaw Casino and Resort Durant.
How do they know within their bodies, I need help?
I think they know because they don't feel successful in what they're doing. And it may be small things.
Okay.
I don't feel successful in the way my communication is going. I mean this inside me, but it doesn't seem to be going over well.
Okay.
I don't seem successful in the way I'm parenting. I'm trying to educate or direct my child, but they're looking at me with fear, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to speak to the people that I work with, and I'm giving them the answer and I'm giving it to them directly, but they're intimidated. They may even say I'm intimidated because my communication isn't showing up the way that they're used to.
Right.
Or they're just having internal struggles with sleep, with thoughts, with all the things. So I think they will know that they need support just based on how they're showing up internally.
Mm-hmm.
So listening to yourself, listening to your thoughts, and sometimes even listening to the people around you by way of what they're sharing back with you and their physical response.
Okay.
Right. So I often watch how people respond, how I'm talking to them. So I know that sometimes I can talk very intensely, right? Because it's natural for me to be direct.
Right.
And so I watch their response and see if I need to smile
yes.
more,
Okay.
or what have you, so that it lands well. So I think they can look at those things internally and kind of assess themselves and say, like, how is this feeling? Right? How am I feeling? And then they will know if they need help with that transition.
Okay. And how do they find you? So they recognize it's not working for me.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us, how do we find you when we need help? And do you just serve veterans, service people and their families, or are you open to anyone non-service related as well?
Yes.
Okay.
I see everyone.
Okay.
Right. Of course, service members are military. That is my specialty because I am a veteran. However, my clientele is everyone. I see everyone, teens and adults, couples. So where you can find me, I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and then the website is therapeutictransitions.org.
Therapeutictransitions.org. Okay.
Yes. And Therapy Queen or Therapeutic Transitions on Instagram and Facebook.
Okay. And when they reach out to you, is there like a form that you have them fill out? Like what's the process, so they can already have in their mind what they're going to have to do?
Yeah. So if they reach out online, they can fill out a form and then they'll be contacted. Or if they call the office directly, the assistant will walk them through the setup. And so basically all they have to provide is their name, their email address, and then she'll take their insurance information if they have and let them know what that's going to look like and get them set up. And I will say that there are 13 therapists that work at Therapeutic Transitions. So I always tell people you have to find the right fit for you. And I'm not the therapist for everyone. Okay.
Now, what does that mean?
And so that means you have to find the right fit for you. Okay. And so I have a very direct approach to therapy, right? Hence my military background. But I know that my personality and my approach is not for everyone. You have to be in a place where you feel comfortable, where you feel safe, and where you feel like you can open up. It's just like there are millions of churches. Every church is not for you. You have to find a place that you feel most comfortable, where you can allow yourself to be vulnerable, right? And so when you're looking for a therapist, take in consideration who you are and see if that's a good fit for you, right? And you don't have to just be with that person because, okay, this is the therapist that has space for me. No, change them out. Get to the one where you feel comfortable, where you can be progressive. So at Therapeutic Transitions, we have 13 therapists there because I know that I'm not the therapist for everyone. And each one of these therapists have their own specialty. So we try to get you the first time, hopefully, with the therapist that is the best fit for you. So you don't have to keep going through so many people. But with that said, I tell people, like, we're going to ask you a few questions because we want to put you with the right therapist the first time, because I know how important that is. The first time I went to therapist, unfortunately, I was sitting on the wrong couch.
Okay.
And not because the therapist wasn't a great therapist. That just wasn't the therapist for me.
Okay.
I needed someone who was culturally competent to who I was as an individual, who had an understanding of the military and how it operated, who understood what it was to be a wife, what it was to be a mother, what it was to be the only one that looked like you in a room all the time.
Got it.
I don't have time to educate my therapist on what that looks and feels like, because I'm trying to tell you about all the reasons why I'm here.
Yes.
So we try to help align you with the person that can really speak to what your needs are and be there for you, right? And so if you're coming in for couples therapy, I want to get you with a therapist that can really work with your couple, right?
Okay.
If you're coming in and you have schizophrenia, I want to get you with a therapist that can work with schizophrenia. And all therapists are not the same.
Right.
Not at all.
Okay.
So if you can and you want to, you can do a consultation with a therapist. Just a quick like, hey, tell me about what you do. This is what I need to try to gauge that to make sure you're a good fit, right? So we do offer a 15-minute free consultation as well. So if that's something that the individual is interested in. So it's just really important to find your therapist.
And be comfortable with shopping therapy.
Please
Therapists. Because I know several people like, well, I went to one and it didn't work out, so I just said forget it. It's okay. It's like a relationship.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be with them for a certain amount of time. So if it does not align, then there's somebody out there.
There's someone out there for you.
And that's where the self-love and self-awareness, you have to be self-aware enough and love yourself enough to take the time to shop it.
Right. And know that every person deserves a therapist.
Every person deserves a therapist.
Every person deserves a therapist. And I'll tell you the number one reason to know that that's not your therapist. If your therapist does not have a therapist, get out of there.
If your therapist does not have a therapist, get out of there.
Right? Because every person deserves a therapist. So every person should have someone that they can bounce things off of and they can have support for, and they have done their work, right? That's the difference between talking to a therapist and a girlfriend, is that this person has done their work and we're not over here swapping stories and trauma bonded, right? And we're using clinical evidence to support you on your journey, not empathizing, not sympathizing with like, girl, that happened to me too, right? That's not what we want.
So there's a difference between therapy and trauma bonding.
Yes. Trauma bonding is like, me too, girl, that happened to me. That's messed up, girl. That was.
Wow, I never thought about that.
People often trauma bond
with their therapist.
They can, if the therapist is not competent and has not done his or her own work.
Got it.
Right? And it's very easy to get into those moments because we have similar experiences. Especially, let's say me as a veteran working with another veteran, and he or she is coming in talking about their combat trauma, and I've gone through combat. We could be over here swapping war stories. That's not therapy.
And walk out and got your money and nothing has been done.
Right.
No needle has been moved.
No, that's not therapy.
I love this. You are such a wealth of knowledge. I see you on Instagram living your best life as you're helping people live their best life. That is a very great place to be in. I can tell that you're enjoying your personal life.
Yes.
And I can only assume that it's because you are operating in your purpose of serving, and you're being intentional of serving the people.
Yes, ma'am.
I want you to take the time to talk directly to the people, not just the veterans, the service members, and their spouses, the people who support them, but everybody who potentially could use a therapist or in therapy but know that something's not quite right, or an entrepreneur who is in a space where they want to give up but they're not really listening to God. Just whatever's on your heart, take this time to speak to God's people.
Yes, I would say live life intentionally and on purpose in every area of your life. So if you, whatever area of your life, look at it, assess it, and say, am I being intentional and living this space on purpose? Whether that's at work, in your relationship, in your religious belief, your finances, your physical. Am I being intentional and on purpose in this area of my life? So know that you are worth that. You are valuable. You are important. And so be intentional with yourself. You are worth it.
Absolutely. You know, healing is a different kind of courage. It takes bravery to serve your country, but it takes faith to serve your heart after the battle is over. Today's conversation with you, Aqueelah, reminds us that freedom isn't just something we fight for. It's something we feel when we allow grace and therapy to work hand in hand. Whether you're a veteran, a spouse, or a family member learning to navigate life after service, remember this: you're still serving through your healing, through your honesty, and through your willingness to keep showing up. Healing our heroes means standing together, one conversation, one act of compassion, one plan for peace at a time. Aqueelah, thank you so much for joining me today. You know, Veterans Day is coming up.
Yes.
And what does that day mean for you?
Veterans Day is a reminder for me of everyone that is currently serving and everyone that has served and what it means to serve. And so on Veterans Day, I don't take the day off.
Okay.
I continue to serve because it's just a reminder of service. It is different from Memorial Day. Okay. We are actively showing honor to those that are currently serving.
Yes.
So it's about service for me.
Yes. And this is just a question. Some people get offended when someone says to them, "Thank you for your service." Why are some people okay with it? What is it?
Well, I think this is always a question. I understand that most people don't know what to say.
Right.
And so their go-to is "thank you for your service."
Right.
And sometimes service men or women are comfortable with that statement because how they view service.
Okay.
Right. Thank me for my service. Like, that was what I was supposed to do. That's what I had to do. You don't know what that looked like. Right. And so they go kind of deep into the mindset of what that was for them individually.
Okay.
Right. I take on the mindset of what else would you be able to say? Nothing but
appreciate you.
Nothing but thank you for my service, right?
Yeah.
Because you really don't know what service was to me and what I did and what I had to do to survive those moments. And I understand that. So I always just say back to people, thank you for your support.
Okay.
Right? But when you say thank you for your service to some people, it may feel minimal. Right? Because you don't know what they gave up and what they endured.
That's all you have to say to me?
Yeah. But on the other side, we don't also share with you what we went through.
So what do we say?
Right. I think thank you for your service is appropriate. I'm just telling you like why people don't always embrace it, because they're thinking about their individual walk and their individual service and what they have sacrificed and what their family has sacrificed and what they have gone through. And they're tying it to that versus, hey, this is just a person saying thank you. Right?
So if we say it and someone gets offended, we should not internalize that. Just understand that
that's about them.
That's about them. Got it. Okay. Well, I would love to close with a word of prayer, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. Heavenly Father, we thank you for those who have answered the call to serve and for the families who serve alongside them in silence. We ask that you bring peace to minds that still remember and healing to hearts that still carry the weight of unseen battles. Teach us to honor our heroes, not just with medals and ceremonies, but with compassion, care, and understanding. Bless those who counsel, those who comfort, and those who choose to heal out loud, because their courage reminds us that freedom truly means that. Let your presence be the calm after every storm and the light that leads every weary soul home. And Lord, we thank you for the therapy queen. We thank you for Aqueelah and her business and all that she's doing for our community. Please continue to undergird her with strength and courage and wisdom to continue to do your will. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
You have been amazing.
It has been a pleasure.
Thank you. God bless you.
God bless you.
Thank you for joining me for another episode of Digging Deep. I hope today's conversation unearthed something meaningful, a truth, a lesson, or a little more peace for your journey. Remember, living well is how we honor the past, and leaving well is how we bless the future. If this episode spoke to your spirit, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And don't forget to follow and subscribe on your favorite platform so you never miss an opportunity to dig a little deeper. Until next time, I'm Dr. Christie K, reminding you that purpose is found beneath the surface.